You're listening to a DM podcast.
Welcome to Over the Back Fence. I'm Di Edwards.
I'm Nicola Dale, and we're buddies of nearly 4 decades. And yes, we actually do happen to share a back fence.
We do. We love parties, people, inspirational stories, and honestly, making the most out of life.
So join us as we open our hearts, share our stories, and hear from some of the most inspirational people in the world. And have a laugh along the way.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Hey, Dottie. Yeah, you know we're all about positivity and motivation.
Everything.
Well, we are super excited to have the queen of just that and so much more, the mega-talented Elise McCann, join us.
Mega's big.
Yeah, at our back fence. So now Elise is currently starring as the lead, playing Donna in the fabulous musical Mamma Mia, which is currently playing in Sydney and soon to be in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I was lucky enough. I did go to the opening night with my daughter.
I'm going
and
next
we
week.
danced, and you all got a standing ovation.
We
And it went
did.
crazy, so bravo to you.
Thank you.
Elise certainly wears many hats. You're a NIDA graduate. You've got a double degree in arts law. You're a well-known Australian actress, starring in TV shows and playing Peter Allen's sister in Not the Boy Next Door.
loved it.
And even recorded your own debut album, Darlesque. Also with lead roles in musicals such as Matilda, the musical, and as Lucille Ball, as everyone loves Lucy. But what else has got our attention, and we just love, is that Lisa is the co-founder of the brilliant Hey Lemonade app with the talented Lucy Durack, your girlfriend, which is all about boosting your mood with quick 3-minute pep talks. So we can't wait to hear more about this.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Elise.
I mean, honestly,
intro. Thank you.
that, and you just go. I mean, because like we're sitting opposite her, like she's so young.
Oh,
how
gosh,
do
you're
you?
so kind.
Like,
Let's
how
hang out
does
all the time.
Anyone squash all that into a mini life? I do not know, but I have to honestly run with the singing because that's
been a big
my
year.
alley.
I like to have a little
I
sing-along.
do love a sing-along. But besides the career, like just listening to that intro, it's mind-blowing. You were on tour doing Barbra Streisand songs with musical theatre royalties such as Carolyn O'Connor and Katie Noonan and Ryan Gonzalez. But you were singing my favourite songs from Barbra Streisand. And now you're starring in Mamma Mia.
That's correct.
And what are we? What are we?
Yes, yes,
Dancing queens, young and free, only 17. So, and then she was on tour with Barbra Streisand songs, and I've gone, this woman is a woman after my own heart. So
Yes.
did we sing, can it be that it was all so simple then? Or has time rewritten every line? Ooh. If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we continue with the podcast?
Bravo,
Honestly,
Elise. And
my
now
two
you've just
favourite
fulfilled
things,
a big
ABBA
dream of Dotie's
and Barbra
there.
Streisand.
Like really.
Honestly, I'm like,
you
in
can
awe
hold a
of you.
tune, Dottie.
I
Oh,
know.
sometimes.
You
I've had
know,
cheese
yeah.
and I've had the
Exactly,
flu,
that's
so
right.
you know,
You sound great. You
it's my
sound perfect.
excuse. So wow, it's such joy to be sitting in front of
Thank
you. And more.
you.
And look, you know what Nicola just said about, because Nicola and I are seriously, before we started the podcast, we talked about going from lemons to lemonade.
Yeah.
That's what
That-
the world's missing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like that's kind of what happened for
So
Lucy
can you
and
tell
I.
us about that? You know, we'll go to the music, but let's just go straight into Hey Lemonade.
Lucy
You
and
know,
I
Elise.
met through music theatre. So actually, it's quite a full circle story because
yeah.
I was studying at NIDA, straight out of high school, and I was ushering at the Lyric Theatre where we're currently doing Mamma Mia. And I was ushering there at night so I could kind of like make some money whilst I was studying. And Mamma Mia, the musical, was on, the original cast.
No.
And
Really?
Lucy Durack was in it.
No,
she was in
this
the
is
ensemble of Mamma Mia. She was
crazy.
a Sophie
Oh, I
cover.
love the universe.
Yeah, and I used to watch her.
Exactly.
Yeah, I used to watch her and everyone else. And I remembered thinking, oh my gosh, I really want to do that show one day. It just felt like a show I wanted to do. I loved the energy of it. I loved the ethos. I loved that it was about like women and friendships and all kinds of love, but mostly about like mother-daughter love and loving your friends, and a woman that was an independent woman that's running her own life and wasn't reliant on a man. Like, I just loved what it was about, but it was also so joyful and great music. And I remember thinking, I'm going to do this show one day. I'm going to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I met Lucy in a dance class and I was like, oh my God, I watch you every night. You're amazing. And I was a bit of a fan, to be honest.
I love that.
And in true Lucy Durack style, she was like, let's have a coffee.
Wow.
And so we hung out and we got to be friends. And then we ended up, working together over the years in a pilot program and some different concerts and bits and pieces.
Yes.
And when kind of COVID came around, we'd always
Where were you both living at that stage?
We were living in Melbourne, both of us.
Melbourne,
yeah, so we
right.
were going through those
You were in
hectic
serious
lockdowns.
lockdown.
You were heavy duty.
Yeah.
Really? That's it. And both of us had lost all of our work. I'd been living in New York and was working with Sarah Jessica Parker's production company. And my mum had gotten cancer and I'd lost 2 different performing contracts. Luce, she has 2 little kids. She was doing Shrek the musical around the country. That was shut down really suddenly.
So the entertainment
was
industry
hit hard.
suffered.
It was.
wasn't
It
it?
really,
In a huge
really was,
way.
Really
and not
hit
only
hard.
like financially, but also it was like one of the few industries where you can't do live entertainment without an audience. Like you could still possibly shoot a TV commercial, or you could maybe do radio, or you could maybe do a TV show even if you were lucky, because it didn't require a live audience. But you actually can't do live performance without them. So because we couldn't congregate audiences, you couldn't even class it as a workplace where you could keep the work going because you couldn't have
Right.
people come.
Yes.
So it was mentally a real challenge, because I think we were all like, this thing that has been our, that gives you a sense of purpose, that is
Yes.
your heart.
Yes.
You couldn't do it and you didn't know when you'd get back to do it. And so the sense of
And
like...
your mum.
And my
Is she
mum,
okay,
she's
or-
really well now.
Oh,
yes.
hallelujah.
Mum
That's
actually
good
just
news.
had
That's
double
great
hip
story.
surgery 2 weeks ago, and she's great. She's moving around
Nico's
like
having a
never
hip
before.
replaced in 2 days.
Yes. Yay.
She's never felt better. You're going to be
See,
amazing.
holding Elise online.
It's going to be so good.
Wow.
And so, Lou and I kind of had both, holding a lot of stress for our families as well as for ourselves. And
Can I just quickly interject? Did the government support the entertainment industry at all? Did you get any sort of remuneration?
Sadly, look, every person was probably different, but
Yes.
sadly, no. Mostly because a lot of the work when you're working in a musical or a play or even a TV show is contract work.
Right.
So you're employed for a season or for, the Sydney season or
course.
on TV, like,
Yeah,
block
contract.
5, whatever it
Yes.
might be. And so because of that, you don't necessarily have you hadn't sustained like long enough employment because you had to be with someone for a year or
even
So they
more
got
tough,
pelted
isn't it?
and then they
Yeah.
got stomped on.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, that's it.
Without any
Yeah.
support.
And for me, like my partner worked, and so technically they said we earned collectively too much, but we definitely didn't. And also we were like, whilst we lived together, we had, home together, all those things, but we didn't actually ever share our finances because we had an account that we would put money into for all the joint elements, but otherwise we kind of kept our finances separate, not because we weren't willing to share with each other, but because we were... No disrespect, but a modern couple, and I've really always felt like it's really important as a woman to have my own independence and to make sure I'm not reliant.
Hear, hear.
And basically, the government said to me, "Well, then you have to ask him to support you." And I was like, "I can't. I don't agree with that."
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So against
Whoa.
all these odds, you're sitting there
Yeah,
with a
so-
beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah, and we actually went for a walk and we're
Yes.
having a
And
chat.
See, this is over the back fence stuff.
Really?
Magic
love.
happens
I've
on
got
walks with
goosebumps
us.
It really
having you
does.
here.
Yeah.
Because it's
It's
very much
like a mirroring our
everything.
friendship
This is
a
why
bit.
we started it.
That.
So they go for a walk. You've
Yeah.
heard what the trauma like being
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
entertainment
huge.
That's
industry.
it. And so we
No
went for this
income.
walk, and both of us basically, we were having a chat, kind of talking about all the things that were going on, and we both kind of walked away and were like, oh, this is actually what I needed. A quick chat with a friend to help me remember that the things that I'm feeling are totally normal, that there are things that I can do to put this into perspective by talking to someone, and to kind of just like reset my mind and the way I'm viewing things and find some pragmatic steps to kind of help me out as I'm moving forward. And we're like, we need this. Like, it's like a mini pep talk from a friend,
Yes.
basically. And so we looked online and like we we were looking at meditation apps and mindfulness apps and all kinds of things, and we couldn't find anything like it. Everything was either a bit too woo-woo or
I know
too
exactly
long.
what you mean.
Yeah, or you didn't have 20 minutes to close my eyes every day. Or
And a pep talk is something a bit different
It
too.
is.
When it can
Absolutely.
really, we are sort of like the
You're each other's
queens
pep
of pep
talkers.
talkers, aren't
Come
we?
on.
That's what we
You
say.
can do it.
You
Let's
can-
go.
rise
You can
above
do it.
it.
Go,
Yes.
go, go.
in our circle of friends, we say the same. Lucy and I are the pep talkers.
Yes,
and so
yes.
now we're
So
doing
you-
that as our business.
So you were looking at other apps and
We
going,
looked at everything.
So you thought, we could do an app?
Well, we
Let's
actually-
see what's out there.
Originally, we were looking to find it for ourselves,
Oh,
thinking that
isn't
we'd
that
look
the
to get it.
best?
And then we went, this
Then you
doesn't
create
exist.
it.
So
Yeah.
exactly.
We're like, this doesn't
I
exist.
love the way you think. If it's not there,
Yeah.
we'll make
That's
our
it.
own.
That was
Love
literally
that.
it. And I think in some ways our naivety of not ever having created something like that made us kind of feel brave enough to jump in. And
Yes.
both of us are what I would say are yes and people. Like we're both like, we don't have all the answers. We
doers.
don't always know everything. So when you don't, try, learn along the way, ask questions, grow, like rather than stop yourself from doing
This is
something because
true
you don't
music
know.
to
I was
my
going to
ears.
say,
You know?
musical theatre in
Like,
action.
wow, it
Yeah,
is.
we're
It
so
really
excited.
is.
Yeah, and so we ended up starting to make it. And we basically brought together this great team of psychologists, solution-focused therapy experts, and then reached out to all these amazing writers in our creative world. So we're able to create work for people that hadn't been able to work.
Oh, okay.
So-
See, this is still happening through COVID.
Yes.
Wow.
When people probably need it even more than
More
ever.
so.
And this is the thing. And that's exactly it. And because also we're not, we'd obviously become a lot better as a society talking about our troubles and the stresses that we have. But there really is like a gap in the market. There's things for like serious mental health and there's support mechanisms and networks. But there isn't a lot for like the everyday stresses for things that are
flat.
serious to you, but not serious.
Yes.
Like when you need a G up to start the week.
like a
or
light
when
bulb.
It
Oh,
exactly is.
bingo.
My kids are being assholes. How do I
Yeah,
deal with that
yeah.
in this moment?
Procrastination,
Yes.
things
Yes,
like that.
exactly.
You just don't
Absolutely.
have to-
I have to give a speech or I have to like do a presentation.
And tell us about the name.
So then we were literally thinking, okay, what do we want? And we thought about it and we're like, we want it to feel like sunshine. We want it to feel like energizing. And so we kept, circling around all kinds of different names and thoughts. And we also wanted it to be a greeting because we wanted it to be like a welcome. And so we were talking and thinking and somehow we came up with the idea of like energizing, feeling like lemonade or like fizzing, that kind of like, we call it peppervescence, but
love
effervescence.
it.
And so then we were like, oh, what about turning lemons into lemonade? Oh my gosh, hey, lemonade.
And that's literally what
And
you
that's
were
what we're doing. And since then, like we've both gone through so many things, which has informed talks that we've done for the app, but also people around us has informed things. And also it's also just helped us. Like my partner at the time, we actually separated about a year or so ago because we wanted different things in life. He decided he didn't want to have family. I was like, I think I do.
Yes.
And so we just knew that as much as we'd loved each other, it wasn't right for us. We'd regret it or we'd resent each other. And so we went our separate ways. And that was really hard because we'd been together for 7 years or something.
that's
and
huge.
7-year itch.
and and it was hard, right?
I admire you though
wow,
when you
being
actually
brave
you've
to do
got
it.
Bing was saying that before.
was
It
more
takes
lemons.
courage sometimes to end a relationship, even though when
brave.
things are going well. But
That's
when
it.
literally your goals are different.
That's exactly it.
And
we're
so-
like, I don't want you to ever regret anything in your life, and I don't want to do the same. And so we're better to let each other go. And same thing, like doing this app, doing a writer's room, and one of the writers was like, I feel like there could be a talk in like, I miss my ex. And I was like, oh my God, it was like I'd needed that talk and I didn't even know.
So how does it work? So, like, tell us, like, for the listener, how does it work? With
Okay, so basically the Hey Lemonade app, you download it from the app stores and we basically have what we call a pep wheel. So it's like a wheel so you can choose from a
I
category.
love the wheel.
Thank you.
It's so simple.
We wanted to find a way to like not prioritize this is more important than this or this is more important than this. It changes. So we're like, let's make it circular so it can move with you.
I love it.
And so you can choose from a category if you need. So from work pressure to relationships to feelings to domesticity, like domestic acts, like, whatever it might be whilst you're waiting. So there's a whole range of categories you can choose from. And then you choose a talk. You choose who you want to voice it. So every talk's available at least 3 voices. So exactly, you can choose who you need to hear. So you could have Maggie Beer, who I
can
feel is
marry
like a
them up.
vocal cuddle.
Oh, she is.
vocal
Right?
cuddle,
It's a
I
great
love
line.
Or
that.
Tony
She
Armstrong,
is.
who was
Yeah.
just like charming and like
Yeah,
gentle.
that was
but
the
also,
last
like,
one I listened
cool and
to.
suave. Lucy and I obviously
yes.
narrate them as well.
Yeah.
We have a real life 6-year-old if you want a child.
How good is that? So actually children can tap in on this as well.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I wasn't actually aware of
Me
that.
either.
Yeah,
you
so
know.
well,
Yeah.
in the parent app, we do have a child, but
Yeah.
more than that, we actually realised that there is an avenue for this for teens and for school kids because they're always on their phones. They're looking for something. They've got short attention spans, and you're looking for something that is bite-sized, proactive, but private.
So you think you're doing another one that's more specifically oriented to that age group?
So we've actually just started Hey Lemonade High.
These, I know. Are you joking?
Hey Lemonade High. So we're launching. We start.
Ask a busy person to do something. That's who you ask to get it done.
We're basically
like, wow.
doing a trial in some New South Wales schools in term 4 of this year.
I think that's
with
going to
year
be
9
a
and 10
big
students.
success. If my teenage children to do something like that, because what a great positive thing. Because sometimes,
It's
as
brilliant.
Lewis was saying, it takes one shift
That's
of
it.
your mind.
Yes.
You can be stuck. You can be flat.
That's it.
And you hear this other voice. You hear another perspective, and you're just listening, and it can just turn things around
That's
as
it.
quick as that.
And a friend mightn't be
acknowledge-
there at that very moment. And there's the app.
Yeah.
Oh, it's,
And that
this
these are
is
normal. Like
just so
everyone
good.
experiences this.
I'm enthused just looking at you. Your
I get
enthusiasm is worth bottling. Honestly.
thank you. It is.
If that's an example of what this app's
I'm just
about.
saying bravo,
Yes.
but really bravo, and thank you both for creating this,
It's
because I
brilliant.
think we really need it so
Yeah.
much.
Look, both of us have said the
endless.
whole way around, like, whatever happens, if this becomes an amazing, lifelong success, or if it ends after X amount of years, we really just wanted to make something originally that was useful for ourselves and then that was useful for others. So we're like, okay, let's just make something that is putting good out in the world, and then whatever happens. At least we know that we've
tried.
made something that was useful.
Put
Yeah.
So
positive
we're kind of not
energy out
connected
into
to the
world.
outcome. We're just like, let's just keep making something good. Both of us still sustain our performing career. Obviously, I'm doing Mamma Mia. Lucy's
This is
doing
what's so
I know,
incredible.
everyone
Midnight
can
in
get to that
Melbourne.
too, yeah.
So we're both still performing because it gives us such joy. Like, it makes us. It feels like it fuels us. Like, I'm working so many more hours than I've probably ever worked in my life, but they are both kind of energizing in slightly different ways.
Yes.
Like, getting to go and do the show every night is like an absolute gift. I know that sounds so naff,
No.
but I love it. Like, I love being there. I love the people. I love getting to do it.
You know what?
Like, it doesn't feel
absolutely
tiring. I love it.
Doesn't
It
it?
shows just
Doesn't
from
it?
a punter being in the audience,
Yeah.
sitting
Oh,
back
yes.
there to be entertained, and
I'm
to see
glad.
you, and you're the star. You absolutely shine that bright light, but you have that enthusiasm and love, and it's an ultimate feel good.
It is.
You're
Yeah.
feeling good, and you make
Yeah.
us feel good.
Yeah.
And now there's no stopping you. And so tell us a day in the life now, Elise.
okay.
Come on.
So-
okay.
This morning, so today is technically my day off from Mamma Mia. So we do shows Wednesdays through to Sunday. And so we do 2 shows on Wednesdays, Thursday, Friday, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. So then on a Monday morning like today, we all had our Hey Lemonade whip meet, so our start of the week meet. So at 9 o'clock, we're all online, and we have 8 people in our team. So 8 of us kind of jumping online to do this meeting. We set up what needs to happen, the priorities for the week. That goes for about an hour. Then we jumped on our marketing meeting, the 3 of us. Then we went over, and Lucy and I were doing some script editing. Then we went over and we were doing, I was teaching some people how to do some back end stuff to update our website.
know all the
we went and
technical
did
stuff too.
Yeah,
Gee, look
and then we went and we were doing some recording with Zoe Tarakis for some new talks for Hey Lemonade High. Then Lucy and I jumped on a meeting with our UI UX team, because we needed to update some designs for the tablet, because we're bringing it onto tablets.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Then
on
I'm
the tablet,
here.
yes.
Then we'll go back. We've got some more kind of sessions this afternoon to do some more script editing. So it's just like never ending. Then we're meeting we've got some stuff with PwC later in the week. And so it's just every day is, an 8-9 hour day.
Can't keep these 2 girls down for 2 minutes.
It is one of those things where every now and then we
Young
both
and
have
agile.
moments where we're like,
What
oh
are
my
we
God,
doing?
what am I doing?
Is this
I'm
really
so
happening?
tired.
Yeah, I bet.
But-
I
Listen
bet.
to one of your own pep talks.
Yeah,
and away you go.
Actually, to be honest, I know that sounds
Turn
silly,
that
but it's
dial,
true.
baby.
And
Yeah.
also, I think you guys would probably find this, I reckon. Don't you think that when you do something with a friend and someone that is really like they get you, they know you in every sense of everything. When you're having a tough day, they kind of pick you up and vice versa.
We're each
Yeah.
other's yin and yang that
That's
way.
it.
Yeah.
And so,
Totally.
there'll be a day where we'll rock up and we're supposed to have a meeting and one of us will have not slept and will be in tears, and the other one will go, you know what?
Yeah.
Go take
Don't
half an
worry.
hour. Go
Yeah.
get a
Off
coffee.
you go. Yeah.
Take a breather.
Yeah.
Jump back on, and we just have each other like that, and it's
You
really
got each other's back.
special.
So you obviously love musical theatre, and so
And
is it
feels
just with your
good.
background. So you actually did arts law as well. Look at this.
So
When
random.
and neither and
I guess it's
and
more
yeah,
like,
this
what
is-
haven't you done?
Oh God, so many things.
Yeah.
Can you clean
But
a
it's-
kitchen?
I reckon she
You know
could.
what? No, depends on the kitchen. No. When I finished school, I was quite a nerdy kid at school. Like I was one of those kids that liked to try lots of things, and then if I didn't like something, I felt like, cool, I can let that go. But at least I knew, like I'd much rather give something a go and discover it doesn't work than not try something. So I
attitude.
tried like every sport. I did future problem solving, I did debating, I did choir, I did the school musicals, you know.
You excelled in choir.
And
Star sign are
did like
you?
choir. I'm a Leo. It's my birthday in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the lion.
I just thought I'd be a journalist or I'd be a lawyer or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'd loved performing, but I didn't know if that would ever be my career. I'd never auditioned for anything. I'd never tried to get an agent when I was younger. And so I studied really hard.
Had you done singing? Have you ever
I'd done
Okay.
singing at school. I did music as one of my
Right,
subjects.
that makes you feel a bit.
Yes. And
Right,
and so I happened to get into law at UNSW, and then I also had auditioned for NIDA and got in. And so Mum was like, go do NIDA. And so I did, and then when I finished, I went and started my law degree. And then I ended up having to kind of transfer and do via open universities for a bit because I was on tour. I was doing Fiddler on the Roof and then,
whoa,
you know,
how cool.
My Fair Lady and a whole bunch of
Oh,
other
sorry, I
shows.
got to interject.
Bring it.
I've always been in love with Tim Mitchell.
Oh, he's
yeah.
amazing.
Well, I don't know him. What's
He's
he like? Is he as
amazing.
amazing as I think
He's
he is?
super chill. Like he's
For those listeners, though, like if you could
quite a
explain,
few
he
that
wrote.
really
so
like
he,
him.
he did the music.
Tim Minchin,
for,
he
for
wrote all the
Matilda.
lyrics and the
Very
music
famous.
for Matilda. Yeah. And Groundhog Day
Yeah.
and you know a whole bunch of musicals and
Very clever, isn't he?
he's a genius. Like
Right,
his
that's
lyricism.
what I think.
Yeah, he's
very
incredible. His musicality and his lyricism is next level. Like it's like, you know, it's like we all talk about Sondheim, the way that they use lyric is genius in music theatre. And Tim's a bit like that. Like the way he's able to find vocabulary and words and make them work in a song, but also have heart. Like he's incredibly funny,
And
but
humour.
has a lot of heart.
Oh,
yeah.
no, some of his songs just like burst into tears.
So
They're
beautiful.
deep, yeah.
Tell us also you've gone overseas, you've sung in New York, what else? In London, have you? Or
and as you said, well, my mum's British. I've actually never spent that much time in the UK because my dad's side are American, so I've got a green card and a British passport. I'm a very lucky.
Yes.
I'm a good
Very.
person to
Yes.
marry,
Yes.
guys.
Yeah,
That's
all the
brilliant.
passports.
Are you currently single, or you know?
I actually am. I'm on the dating
go.
scene.
Hey,
That's
hey.
right.
So I reckon there's a few people around. It's all single.
We might do
people.
a dating app next to the
Exactly.
lemonade.
Let me know if you know anyone great. But yeah, so I've never spent that much time in the UK, and I think because you know when you
that
know you always
wheel.
can. You know when you know you can, but I kind of had to pick between the UK or the US, so I went to the US for whatever reason. That kind of felt, New York felt a bit more like home.
Yeah.
But I did do, as you said, a cruise ship. Like when
So
I...
tell
That would have been his, because as you know, we've just come off.
Yes.
just
Come off the
Nicola and I,
Windsor.
Yeah.
We're
So
not
we had the
bored.
time of our lives.
Where did you
It was only a
cruise?
tiny, like,
Spain. So
Oh
we went
my
from
God.
It's only
Barcelona
200 people.
down the south coast, Malaga.
Beautiful.
We ended up going then
Morocco.
to Morocco, and
That's
then,
cool.
yeah, which was really cool.
That's
how do you
amazing.
dance and
Gibraltar
sing
and
when you're in the
Lisbon.
swell?
Oh my God, it's so
How
hard.
do you do it?
what boat- what
do
have
you
you
have
been
like
on?
sticky things that keep you planted
Sadly,
to
no.
the ground? Like
No.
honestly,
No, to
So
help
what
you.
ships? What
So
you
I
worked on?
did a cruise ship for Royal Caribbean.
Yep.
And I did a 9-month tour. So I
Oh,
cruised.
you're kidding.
Yeah, Europe, the Greek islands, and Egypt. So we did 2-week cruises, and we do 3 shows a fortnight. So basically,
that's
the rest
good.
of the
Good
time kind of
gig.
had passenger
Hello.
passengers. I know.
that's my kind of job.
It was amazing.
Oh,
And then
Jamaica, there you
flying.
go.
And then the
Ringing
next
in the
cruise,
Sabo.
yeah. Hello. And also, though, it was amazing. Like we did get to go and like explore and be passengers in these amazing ports, which was why I took the job, to be honest. Because
I thought you'd actually be doing it like every night nearly.
So did
like,
I. I was
like
waiting for
6
2
out of
shows
7
on
or
my,
something.
like an early
you know,
show
like
and an evening
So there
show.
is an early show and an evening show, but you only do it for 3 nights. So like you
great.
do
Unbelievable.
essentially you're doing 6 shows but they're only an hour each. So for me, it just feels like a matinee, like a
I reckon she
first
probably
act
would
and a
have had a couple
second
of other
act.
jobs in the interim with the way
Yeah.
you
Do you
roll.
feel like
Wow.
you've squashed a lot into your little tiny life? Like it's remarkable what
do.
you have achieved to
know.
date. And you're
thank
so
you.
young, you're a baby.
Thank you,
I can
thank
say
you.
that because I'm in my early 60s. So I know you blow my mind
Oh, it's
with what
exciting.
you have achieved today. What's ahead for you?
Look, I don't know what's ahead. I mean, lots of the same.
Maybe
Hey
a
Lemonade.
beautiful, handsome, spunky man.
An amazing part. Yeah, exactly.
And babies on
lots
it.
of-
Later on
babies, I love
too.
that.
When the
Yeah.
time's right.
I think
Yeah.
that's it. Like I literally love my work. I really love it, and I want to keep that. But I also, one thing I really want is I want to create a little more space for my family and my friends and other things in my life, because it's so easy for it to pass you by.
Yes.
And I've got 2 beautiful nephews that I'm obsessed with, and so I
How old
want
are they?
One just turned 10 and one is 6, and so
You do the fun art, didn't she?
How
Thank you.
lucky are they to
Thank you.
have
Time,
Elise
sing
as
along.
an auntie?
We
do. Can you imagine?
Exactly.
Next time you're singing with them, I'll come along.
Oh, please don't. I took one of them.
I still
speed
I still
dial.
have to hear a dancing queen with you too. Really, like it really is. I think Dottie, you can do a little dance. I think if
love
Elise
it.
gets going,
Friday night and the lights are low.
3, 4, 5.
Looking out for a place to go. Where they play the right music, getting in the swing. You've come to look for a king.
Sing it, babe. Come on. I love it. Oh my God, we've got to put this
we went
video
on a
out.
cruise with a
Yeah.
girlfriend, and it was just all chicks.
Unbelievable.
And that was in
That's so
Tahiti.
fun. Yeah.
And remember that one night we all got together, and I think the band, everything was playing Dancing Queen, and we were all
In a
there,
circle going,
in a
I
circle,
love
all the
that.
girlfriends
Like a Greek
in-
wedding.
I don't know if you know this, but I actually did Mamma Mia in like 14 years ago. It was one of my first. So I did Fiddler on the Roof, then I did My Fair Lady, something else I can't remember, and then I did Mamma Mia, and I was Ali. So I played the best friend of Sophie.
Okay.
And now, obviously, 14 years later, I'm now
Doing
playing Donna. So
Donna.
it's like a real full circle thing. But I made some of my best girlfriends in that first cast of Mamma Mia. There's 5 of us. So Hayley, who played Lisa opposite me, and then Emily, Madeline, and Sammy, and myself. So the 5 of us, we have remained best mates, and we talk to each other on WhatsApp because Sammy now lives in Germany. Hayley's been in LA. I was in New York. Emily was all over the place. She's now back in Sydney. Madeline lives in Melbourne. And we talk on Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, or we do like Zooms together. And we've been planning a trip to Greece for the last 14 years.
Stop.
And we're all going next year.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Can
Exactly.
you imagine?
I think we might have to
Can
get
you
crashed.
imagine?
Guys, come, so we need
It's going to be like the movie. Oh
can't
my
wait. We can't
God.
wait. I know.
Any
Wonderful.
ex-husbands turning up on a boat?
I don't know about it. Maybe. Who knows?
Imagine the sing-alongs in Greece
Oh,
there.
just beyond.
That
It
is
feels-
just-
yeah.
You really make things happen, and you certainly are an inspiration. I mean, to us,
you.
to
It's blown my
so many
mind.
people. And I tell you what, lucky people in Queensland, because you're coming up that way
We are.
very
Yes,
soon, and that's
Brisbane.
Yeah,
and that's
but-
exciting. How long are you going to be there for,
So we
Elise?
open on August 6th
Yep.
in Brisbane at QPAC.
Yes. That's a
And we're
minute
there
away.
until, I know.
Yeah.
I was actually there last week, Monday and Tuesday. Myself and Sarah, who plays Sophie, we got to go to Queensland and do some publicity for 2 days. And the weather was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get here. And so we're there until the end of September, and then we actually go to Melbourne. So we'll be in Melbourne for the end of the year.
Back in your hometown, then, really.
Back in my old hometown.
Without the restrictions.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
gosh, exactly.
Exactly.
So it's really fun. It's nice because it's not too long in any city. It's kind of like short and sharp. So enough time to kind of have a good
And
time.
it's
but
great
not
for
be
the Aussies
crazy.
too. If it's a good excuse for a girls' weekend or a couples
So
weekend
true.
or whatever.
Yeah.
If you want
I
to then
can't
go
wait
and
to
let's
go.
go see Mamma Mia and let's go and see it in Melbourne.
There's a whole
let's go and
generation
see
that's
it,
come up as well, because we found like there's all these like 16 and 17-year-old and 18-year-old girls that come to the show. There's been like sets of girls that have come like 3 or 4 or 5 times, just these young
How
groups
beautiful.
of girlfriends
Isn't it
that
wonderful?
have grown up with the
New
movie. and-
generation.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it. It
What's
makes
your
me so
favourite
happy.
song to sing? Donna do.
Donna.
Because there's a lot. There's a lot.
There are. I think
Yeah.
I sing 13 songs.
What?
Which is a lot. Yeah. It changes. Like, I do love Dancing Queen because you get to jump around on the bed with
Right,
your best
and be
mates.
free.
But I love Winner Takes It All. Like, because it's just a
A little
banger.
bit of that. Sing a little bit of that. For
Oh,
us.
it's so
Okay,
epic,
yes,
Winner.
yeah,
you
go
know, no,
on,
you know the
yes.
other one is Slipping Through My Fingers, which is an unknown gem. That's a song. That's
does
the
that
song
go?
that Donna sings to her daughter Sophie when Sophie's getting ready for the wedding, and it's all like reflective. And she's like, slipping through my fingers all the time. I try to capture every moment, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in your mind each time I think I'm close to knowing? She keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. And it is, it's like, that was very fast, but
I was with my daughter
triple
watching it,
goosebumps.
and it's funny. I'm not kidding. Maybe it was with you 14 years ago. She was a little girl when I saw it, and she goes, "Mum, remember?
teary.
Yeah.
Remember when we went together 14 years? It was 14
It
years ago."
is.
and we saw Mamma Mia and we were up dancing then.
was
And
so
then
beautiful.
here we are again. And that song is just so touching.
That's the thing. I love it because a lot of people don't think
got
of it
me.
as an ABBA hit, but it is. It's literally about like
beautiful.
just like taking.
And that's
so-
the thing of also grabbing
good,
life,
feeling
which you
good,
certainly are,
Yeah.
and doing things when they're there because life does continue on, and so
Yeah.
if you don't grab those opportunities, it
And
does
so
slip
true.
through
It so
your
does.
fingers.
And it's so funny when I sing that song most nights, like I do, I look at Sarah who plays Sophie and I think, she feels like, my daughter or my little sister. Like she's so special, such a beautiful girl. And I love her and I feel quite fondly for her. I think of my nephews and I also think of my mum because my mum came and toured with me when I was on the cruise ship. And so we went through parts
What a
of
host.
Greece and
Dude,
parts
love
of
So she
that.
got to travel. That's
yeah, she
brilliant.
came and travelled with me, and it
so
was
good.
for like 2 cruises, so back to back. So we had like a month together, and so sometimes I think of like, the trips that we went on, and there's these beautiful lines around like what happened to those wonderful adventures, the places I'd planned for us to go. Some of them we went, and some we didn't, and why I don't know. And I think of like the amazing times I've had with my mum, but also the things of like, oh gosh, I want to make the most of the time I do have. And that's why when you were like, what's next? I love my life. I feel so lucky to get to do all the things I do. And I love all my work. But I also want to really make sure that I don't fill up my life with only
Now
work.
this is an interesting answer to the question because you've come back to it again.
Yeah.
And so it's very much sort of
It is.
in your forefront of
It
your
really
mind.
is.
It's about you now.
Yeah.
And it's about more balance, isn't it?
It is exactly
because
that.
even though you've done the app, that's a lot of work to build that, to help others and heal and whatever.
Yeah.
Of course you'll use it as a tool,
Yeah.
but I love the fact that you're recognising that you're needing that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
and-
Beautiful.
Yeah,
and because-
acknowledging living in the present.
Yes, yeah. She's
That's
a
it.
busy life.
That's it.
But hold on,
Still
I need to, because where are you going? What are you
absorb it.
doing? Like she's done heaps.
Yeah.
Now it's about, well, hold on, consolidate. Where am I? In all
That's it.
this?
And I
Who am
also
I?
feel like,
Yeah.
like
what do I need?
I'd thought about going back to America, and look, maybe I will, but I also was really mindful that I don't know if I want to go back to start again, and go back into that hustle. Like I have a beautiful life here. I've got beautiful family and friends. My life is still so full. And I don't know if like success is, I think that when I was really young, I just felt like success was having to do the next thing and the next thing, which is probably why I've tried, packed so much in. And I do not regret anything. I feel so grateful. Like I actually, if I died tomorrow, I would be okay. Because I
that
feel
statement.
really,
I love that
know.
I feel
statement.
happy with what I've achieved
What a
and how I've
wonderful
learned.
thing because you're acknowledging that too. I think sometimes
Very
you can
powerful.
do that. You're still
Yeah.
looking for the next beat or next hit.
Yeah.
And look for you, it's always sort of going to be there because you're created if it's not there, which
That's
I love.
That's
with,
it. I'm
with
like,
you.
I want to do things
But it's a
that make me
wonderful
excited,
thing.
and that's going to be my barometer for saying yes or no to things. The things that make me feel excited, or where I feel
and
like
singing does that for you.
singing does that for
gather.
me.
And it
really
does that for you as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
When I
so,
sing, I mean, it brings my emotion to the fore.
Yeah.
Happy, sad, whatever, relative to the song.
One of my friends, Sean, said that like when you get to be an actor or a singer, this amazing gift that you get is that you get to process your emotions publicly so that others can do it privately.
Never heard that.
And I love it because it's true. You kind of get to process all these different things that we feel as a human, which by letting other people see you process those things, it enables them to start to figure out how they can process. But it's also like, we're so lucky to get to do that. Most people in their job, they're working 9-to-5 jobs in front of a computer, and like you don't get the space to, foster relationships and deal with your emotions and think about things in that sense. Like, we're really lucky to be in the creative field, or like what you guys are doing, like where you're communicating and talking and engaging with people on a human level.
We're on our happy drug here
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
just is.
We came in
we do
today
what we
because we've
love.
been overseas. We were like, oh my God.
And we haven't done
so
this for a couple of
exciting.
weeks. We're just
So
going,
good.
oh, we love it.
Yeah. And if
meeting
you can
someone-
convey
and like
that
with
to an audience.
And that's what you guys are doing with the
uplifting.
podcast. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you get excited there. You certainly excite us.
Oh,
and you're
Very
exciting
few
everyone
people
there,
I've met
really.
like you in my life.
So, Elise, if anybody in the world, planet Earth, you could share a back fence with, who would it be and why?
You know what? This is going to sound so silly. I mean, part of me would say Lucy Durack because she's like, but to be fair, we talk to each other probably more than any other person in the world.
Like us,
and if we
we-
did,
absolutely.
we'd probably never
Yes.
stop working. So I probably need to leave Lou where she is. But I actually think I'd pick my sister, which I know sounds so like not as interesting as picking someone cool and famous.
not
but
at all.
my sister and I we were like never super close growing up, and we've become closer and closer as the years have progressed because we started to understand each other better.
And was it just the two of you?
Yeah. And I have a half brother who lives in America, but it's just the two of us really. We've grown up together. And as I said, like, she's got these two beautiful boys that I love, and we just don't get to spend enough time together. But also, over the years and when Mum got sick, like, the blessing was it brought our family so much closer. And like my parents are separated, but my dad kind of like was helping out as well. And it really did kind of like mend our family a bit.
Incredible the gifts that can happen.
Yes.
During tough
odds.
times.
And so I think I would genuinely
love
pick
that.
my sister because I'd love that I could totally be myself. I could drop on in. I would love to get to do that. I'd love to be more present in my nephews' lives. And I'd love for them to be able to kick the soccer ball and for me to just like jump in.
Oh, that's
and
great.
play with them. Yeah.
Well, so you're sitting on the fence and you jump down and play
That's
the
it.
soccer
That's
ball.
what I want to do.
I think this is
Very
something
cool.
that's going to
So
happen.
New balance life.
Yeah,
I love
I think
that.
that's
That's it. I
something
think
that will
it's that.
happen.
I think, if you'd asked me 6 months to 12 months ago, I might have
no
said
way.
someone else.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
really feel that sense of, wanting to
it's
create
grounding for
balance
you.
in my life. Yeah.
And lucky
this-
sister,
I can't wait
lucky
to hear the answer
sister.
to
This
this
one's
question.
she's got 4 sisters.
Yeah.
So
Oh
this
my
is
God.
probably
Five
fair.
girls and
That's
3
amazing.
brothers.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, this one I'm dying to hear.
Yes.
If you had the opportunity of meeting your 20-year-old self, what would you say to her?
Oh, 20-year-old self. Okay.
Dying to hear this one.
You know what? 20-year-old Elise. So I had an eating disorder for about 10 years.
Wow.
That was mostly to do with not feeling enough, I think, which I think is something we all feel. And I think being in the entertainment industry, you feel a false sense of pressure to have to look a certain way or whatever.
Absolutely.
And 20-year-old me was really focused on what other people thought. And so I would probably try and say to 20-year-old Elise that you are enough and that the blessing, like the thing to focus on is when it feels like that maybe, you need someone else's validation or qualification to make sure you feel good enough, whatever
Yes.
enough is.
Yes.
Actually, like letting go of that and embracing the fact that someone is choosing to be a friend in your life or choosing to be a partner in your life.
Syndrome, where you're actually being something
Yeah.
you're actually not.
But
They'll-
if it's with a partner, if it's with
exhausting.
a friend, if it's with family, whatever it is, if you rather go, this person is choosing to be in my life, and therefore that's actually more powerful than, say, something being ordained or whatever, or just it's set and forget. I like the idea of thinking people are choosing who they're interacting with in their life. So if someone is choosing to interact with you, then that means that they've chosen to interact with you because there is something about you that they want to interact with. So trust that and think of that as freeing rather than, I have to keep winning you over, or I have to check that you think I'm enough or that I'm good enough to hang out with you. You are, because or else they wouldn't be spending time with you.
surrender.
Yeah.
Your own self-validation
That's exactly
without
it.
their
And for Leo,
validation
that's
and-
hard too.
It's really hard.
Yeah, Leo.
That's a wonderful thing and a great acknowledgement.
you got me
and
then, even
especially,
with that one.
You know,
Wow.
and also sharing that you did have an eating disorder
Absolutely.
too, which is,
and
there's
how many years
people
did you have that for?
To be honest, it was
Elise?
about 10 years.
Well,
and
sorry,
I say,
you did say. So what age did
so
that start?
it really started. It started when I was about 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
and I say 10 years because it was quite present for a period of time, and then it would kind of like come and go.
Oscillate,
But it wasn't
yeah.
really until I was in my late 20s that I had started some therapy and I was able to kind of go, like, actually let it go. And I think, eating disorders are one
Well
of those
done.
challenging things where it's not like, don't get me wrong, any form of addiction is incredibly hard.
Yeah.
But one of the challenges of an eating disorder is that you have to eat to live. You can't just go,
got
I'm
this
never going to drink
cheese in
again. I'm
front
not
of
going to.
us.
Yeah. You
Babe,
just had a
don't
box
you
of
worry.
cheese.
But
Yeah.
and I think that I had to start realizing that like food isn't the thing. I would look to it for comfort, or I'd look to it for a way to have control of like, okay, to feel a sense of control in my own life. So if I don't eat anything, I have control then. So it was like a way of, feeling safe in the world, but I was just I wasn't helping myself. I wasn't loving myself.
So therapy helped a lot.
It really did.
Yeah,
It really
it's great.
did. And also, to
It's
be
great.
totally honest, like therapy absolutely helped, but it was also, just choosing to let go a little bit. Like we have to hold on to things before we can let them go. So you have to
Yes,
kind of
so
like
true.
go,
Me
okay,
too.
I acknowledge that this is actually what's happening for me, and I seek control in different places or, because that will make me feel safer. So actually, how else can I feel safe? Okay, well, maybe I can feel safe by talking to myself more kindly or by doing other things that are better for my health or
Very
by
healthy
talking
awareness.
to someone. Like just trying to increase my awareness.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yeah, and
Well done.
I think we should talk about this stuff because we don't
It's
talk
essential.
about it.
Essential to talk about it. And then
and
thank
I
you
don't
for
want to feel
sharing
shameful,
No, not
with
at
something
all.
that we
These
all go
days,
through.
like,
Yes.
seriously.
Yeah, and that's what I
just
tell you
bring
what,
it to
that
the
I'm sure
fore.
also with the app as well. We should
Totally.
come back to that as well. There's people with all different sort of issues going on
Absolutely.
there. And a simple thing
Yeah.
can sometimes
Yeah,
turn
turn
that around,
that
a little
dial.
jolt.
That's it.
that
And
you
like,
get.
and for me, I was like,
And a soothing voice at the other end. just
Yes.
saying, hey, I've been there, done
Elise.
that.
That's
I've got to
it.
say my
Yeah.
daughter's middle name's Elise.
Is it?
Yes, it's always
It's
one of my
beautiful
favourite
name.
names.
It's a
So
beautiful
pretty.
name.
Yes,
I know, I
yes,
love it.
yeah.
I
I've
do
loved
love
having
it.
you here today.
my
more
I
than
know,
you
I
know.
love you, honestly.
So much.
thank
You
you.
just,
I know.
you are a walking inspiration.
You
God,
are
really are.
absolutely, yes.
And you bloody well
Joy.
sing.
And you sing, I know, and the sing-alongs there were fantastic.
I'm gonna
Are we
keep
gonna-
an eye out
Are we
for
having a
my
little
idea
sing-off
for you.
to end the show?
Oh, sing off. I honestly love you.
Oh, Olivia.
Yeah, we love you,
Don't we
Elise.
love it?
We love
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
And I just want to say also, just to our listeners, to all Elise, like the app, Hey Lemonade, we'll have all the details on
Yes,
our show
thank
notes
you.
as well.
Thank you.
And to
Yeah.
all your shows
And we
everything else there
we
as
both
well.
downloaded, we both thoroughly recommend it. It's
Absolutely,
great.
I really
Easy,
do.
simple.
Thank you.
We have all that for everyone. Thank you for listening,
Appreciate it.
everyone.
Ciao. Well, guys, we look forward to joining us at the back fence next Monday.
Yes, so tell your friends, rate and review. How many stars do we want, Didi?
25, and even though it only says
I think
4.
I think it says 4 or 5 stars. Because really, I'm just learning, but that's really the only way that community
Spread the
grows and
word.
spread the word.
Yeah,
So share
it's
the
true.
potty to friends, and
That's what it's all about.
thank
to
you for
share it.
listening.
And look forward to chatting with you on Monday. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye bye.